And we're back with number 20. 20 videos. Never thought I'd make more than 10. Anyway, 20 videos. It's Labor Day, and traditionally, for 30 gazillion years, I would be already in the school for a week, the last week in August. Usually I was when I would go in and setting things up and photocopying stuff and just doing stuff and getting acclimatized to the whole thing. And I was always excited at the beginning of school. I was excited. I was excited to see you guys back again. I was excited to see all the other teachers, so some of the other teachers, and it was a nice time of year for me. It was enjoyable, and I don't know, every so often, and I would get through the first day, and I'd swear to myself, never doing this again. No, never. But it would be great. It would be wonderful to see people, people that I would not have seen, who I would never even have taught, would come by the music room and check in with me and see if I'm still walking. It was a special time of year. It really was. I can understand that for some of you, the beginning of school might not be the greatest time of year, but I can tell you from personal speaking, I was always excited. I was always excited. And when I retired in 2014 in June, the summer went by, and people were saying, "How do you like retirement?" And I'm saying, "I don't know. I would normally be off in the summer." But I'll tell you, in that Labor Day in 2014, not going back to school was really difficult for me. Really difficult. In fact, I was miserable for about 4 full months, up to the Christmas holidays. It was really, really difficult for me to get used to the fact that I had nowhere to go in the morning. And it wasn't like I quit because, I wanted all kinds of freedom. It was health purposes. I knew that at some point in time, the kidneys were going to go, and I would end up being on dialysis, which I am now. And so we spent a couple of years, 2-3 years, traveling, which is I always wanted to do. And once that was out of the way, once I started dialysis, I wasn't going anywhere. And that started in 2019, April of 2019. And now I go 5 mornings a week for 2.5 hours every morning, except for Wednesdays. So I was there this morning, and it drains you. But I'll tell you, the first 4 months after I retired, September to December, mentally it was brutal. After you've spent almost 4 decades getting prepared and getting ready and doing whatever, and you're doing what you love to do, which was what I've always wanted to do, it was tough. It was really, really tough. I missed everybody. I missed the students. I missed working with some of the teachers, and it's just the way it went. So that for this time of year, some of you may look back on it and going, "Oh yeah, I really enjoyed this kind of time of year," because you weren't going to a job, you weren't going to university, you weren't getting out there in the real world and trying to scrape up a living. You still were in high school, and you still had quite a bit of freedom to some degree. And I would tell people, this is the best time of your life right now in high school, where you're not beholden to anybody. Hopefully you're not married yet, although we had a few of those. And you had the freedom to, you go home, do homework, but in reality, you weren't the breadwinner of the family. You didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go into a bakery. I had a couple students go into baking, and man, I warned them. I said, it's brutal. You got to be there by 4 o'clock in the morning to start doing the dough and proofing it and this, that, the other, so that people coming in for breakfast will have something to eat. And yeah, it's not easy, and the food industry isn't any better. Um, yeah, so this would be a really important time of year for me, and for those of you still in university, um, good luck this year. For those of you starting new jobs, maybe, um, good luck. And for the few of you, and I know there's several, who are teaching and will go back and will open their classes tomorrow, wish you all the best. Stay healthy. Be careful of the kids, because kids under 12 can't be vaccinated, but they can be carriers. So be careful. Um, and everybody, we're in a fourth wave right now. So I mean, I've had both shots. I'm probably going to get a booster shot. Um, they took a look at my antibodies and they went, "Whoa, your antibodies are really, really, really strong. It's like you've had COVID." I'm going, "Wow, what does that mean?" It means I could still get it. So I have to be really careful. In fact, I got news yesterday that some of you know that I played in 2 or 3 bands. I played in the Thornhill Community Band, the Richmond Hill Community Band, Aurora Community Band, and occasionally the Newmarket Community Band. Um, One band is going back, and they've moved all the way up to Aurora. The Richmond Hill band has moved to Aurora. I'm wondering if the Aurora band will move to Richmond Hill. But anyway, I digress. But I took a look at the setup that they're going to have, and I realized, and I spoke with the representatives of both bands, the Thornhill and the Richmond Hill band, and I realized that I can't take a chance in going back and performing or even rehearsing. Uh, I would be a sitting duck, so I'm not doing that. And so I'm not going to be playing for the foreseeable future, which is unfortunate because, as you see behind me, whoops, on this side, I've got the baritone sax out and I've been playing a little bit. Um, the other thing is with the arthritis, it has gotten so bad that I couldn't carry that thing up or down a flight of stairs in case we rehearsed at some place that had stairs. So everything at once, everything at once. I mean, don't I never ask somebody over 60 how they're doing. How are you feeling today? Because you'll lose 2 hours of your life. Absolutely. I say to people, I said, do you want it in alphabetical order, chronological order? Um, um, how would you like it? Um, anyway, however, I'm still kicking. I'm still here. I've had the last few days 2 or 3 or 4 former students write some really, really nice testimonials about me on Facebook. Aaron Lake and Victor Cornfoot wrote really nice things about me. They're on Facebook, if you can scout them down. And I want to thank them for that. I don't look for compliments. I really don't. I'm not a compliment-seeking person. Um, as I told you last video, I'm not a self-promoter. I've never been a self-promoter. Um, some people are. In fact, the great late Paul Brody, sax player, big guy with a beard, and some of you may remember him because he came to the school several times. I was very good friends with him. And he won an Academy Award for Best Music in a film. He did a sax solo in, I forget the film. But anyway, he won an Academy Award for it. He was given the Order of Canada. So he was very famous worldwide. He was one of the very few classical saxophonists, not jazz, that would travel the world. But he was a shameless self-promoter. Holy cow. This is a guy who would give out he had bookmarks with his image on them and all his awards and everything he'd won, and he'd give them out, and he had his own school of music at one time. Was he a good teacher? I think so. But he was a shameless self-promoter. He had his name in front of everything. I think the only thing he didn't do was rent out a few billboards in the city. But he was good like that. I'm not like that. I was never like that. I figured actions speak louder than words. So to those of you who have written nice things about me, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. Again, I ask for those of you who make comments down below in the YouTube thing, and I appreciate the comments. Again, thank you very much. But again, I don't know who you are. I have no idea. And rather than me just like spelling it out and saying, "Who are you?" I really don't want to do that. But send me a personal message or write on the bottom, "Oh, by the way, I'm such and such and such." I think I know who they might be, but there's a handful of people who write comments, and I don't know who you are. So make comments about it. Going back to the whole September thing, it always took a while to get going in September, and that was because of the summer layoff. And for some students, depending on the class, I would not have seen anybody since December of the year previous, right? So let's assume that it was 2013, 2014. September 2013, I might get students who I haven't seen since December of 2012. All right, and if it's a keyboard class or a guitar class, you know, they might have forgotten what they were doing. So it always took, and the band classes, oh my God, to get the embouchures back to where they were, it took about 3, 4 weeks till the class stopped sounding like a zoo and started sounding like a band. But then we worked it to the point where by Christmas we had our chops together, which again was another thing about the semestering system. I had the semestering system I had to deal with. I had the lack of a feeder school, which allowed me to have a grade 9 advanced band I never did have. I had the lack of a grade 13 and then ultimately OAC, which meant I might have students, I had to start them beginning band in grade 9, and a lot of you took the beginning band class. And I just threw the curriculum right out the window, and I had people come to the school, superintendents and directors of music, education, and so on, and they take a look at, "Hey, where are your lesson plans?" I said, "I don't have any." "What do you mean? In grade 9 it specifies here in the guidelines that in the grade 9 level your band should be able to play a scale, play the arpeggio, play the..." I said, "I don't have and never have had the luxury of having an advanced grade 9 class, ever, in all 31 years I was at the school." So I had to begin beginning band in grade 9. So essentially it was a grade 6 class for most schools, grade 6, 7, 8. By the time they come in grade 9, they've been playing for 3 years, and they know what they're doing. So I had to compress 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7 years into 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, and bring you guys as much up to speed as I possibly could, so that in case you did want to take music at the post-secondary level, you could do that. And a lot of students did. Which is why we play. There wasn't a lot of work. We didn't do a lot of theory because there wasn't time for it. I had to make sure by the grade 9 you were doing grade 6 and 7 and 8 level out of the book. By grade 10 you were doing grade 7, 8, 9 level. By grade 11 you were doing by grade 10, 11 level, and by grade 12 you were doing sort of 11 with part grade 12. And some of you, we worked you guys hard, and I apologize for the repetition of the same pieces day in, day out, but look where it took you. All right, look where you got. You got to be supreme. And right behind the monitor, one day when I take this stupid thing off, the webcam, and show you my room here, I have a certificate from the board. It reads Excellence Awards, Lincoln Alexandria School, Secondary School, for the outstanding band performance at the Peel District School Board Central Board Office, December of 2013, which some of you may remember that concert. We were down we were in the foyer. It was one of the best concerts any band has ever done. I know that Mr. Hill was there to take pictures, and I've posted the pictures on Facebook before. But that was 13, so 8 years ago. It'll be 8 years. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. That was, I knew that was going to be my last concert, except for the commencement. It was going to be my last program with the band. And through the Christmas break, I was upset because I knew that we would come back to a couple weeks of band, do exams, and then I would go into semester 2 and never teach a band class again. So it was rough on me. And then that, because I knew I was retiring at the end of the year. You guys might have figured that out. But September was always a wonderful time for me, and it was exciting to meet new students, and students that I would only see for maybe one semester. And there's a lot of those students that, they were always on the move, and I might see them from September to December, and then they'd be gone. Literally, they wouldn't even wait until the semester started in January. So it is what it is. I'd like to hear some of your comments about the opening of school. That would be kind of interesting. I know some of you dreaded it. I know. And some of you looked forward to it. So in your comments, when we talk about the opening of school, this is the time of year, and this is an unusual year with the virus, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. Yes, a lot more people are being vaccinated, but there's an awful lot of transmission of this virus. And if you've had your shots, you won't go into hospital. If you haven't had your shots, or you're joining the ranks of the anti-vaxxers or the anti-shot, it's my freedom, I want to do with my body. Please understand that you've already had some vaccines. You wouldn't be alive if it weren't for the fact that when you were young, you got the polio, diphtheria, tetanus, the whole package. All right? You wouldn't be alive today, and your parents wouldn't be alive because they've had the shot too. We don't know if it's ready. The vaccine it's too new. The vaccine's been worked on and given to millions upon millions of people. It's proven. So if you know someone who hasn't had the shot yet, they're going to be in the minority. I keep arguing with people online, and I have to remember not to do that. Okay, social media and I don't get along sometimes, and I had one argument with one fellow who said, they're going to put chips in your arm, or you can magnetize your forehead or something. No, okay. Trump opened that can of worms when he became president. He opened this whole social interaction, rude social interaction, and that's what happens, okay? Unfortunately, the Pandora's box has been opened. Sorry to getting political on you, but it bothers me, okay? I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to get shots. Get the second shot, get the booster shot if it comes out. Wear the masks, play your cards right, don't get sick, don't give it to someone who could get sick. Now, this is the other key thing. For those of you who don't understand that concept, pregnant women, I don't believe, can get the shot yet. Children under 12 can't get the shot. But they can. Everybody I've included can get the virus. The third thing is, like for example, I would be waiting for a kidney transplant, let's say. The medication, anybody with a transplant, heart transplant, kidney transplants, you name it, they're on special medication to prevent their body from rejecting that particular organ. And to do that, it reduces their immune system to virtually nothing. That's what the drugs do, which means they're open sitting ducks for this virus, and they could get very sick and end up in hospital in spite of having good antibodies, in spite of having both shots. Okay, so that's why you wear a mask. That's why you get shots if you can. That's why you play it safe, because you could give it to someone, an older person, for example, someone in a, that's why all the senior citizens passed away when they got the virus, because their immune systems were very, very low. They hadn't the vaccine hadn't come out yet, and in that closed environment, they were just sitting ducks. So be careful. Okay, there's no need. I keep seeing unvaccinated people filling up the hospitals and dying. No need for that. It's an unneeded tragedy. Okay. Anyway, sorry for waxing political. Anyway, I wanted to get this video out because it's been a while since I've done one. And I'm going to state it as political in the write-up. So if you don't want to deal with politics, too late now. But in case you're an apolitical type person, you'll know to avoid this video. But there are other videos you could be watching, and a couple of people I just discovered you had a video channel. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's why I put out that little promo shorty, and people are going, "Holy cow! What made you do this?" And I've said this before. I should write a book. I don't do books. I don't write. I should dictate a book. No. The person, by the time they're finished with the first hour, they'll be looking for some hemlock to drink, or slitting their wrists. So I figured I would do this, the video. And to be honest with you, I know I'm rambling, but that's okay. I've come to watching myself on the video. So I'm trying to pick up things that I'm doing wrong, not staring at the camera, staring off to one side, stuff like that. I'm trying to, perfect this whole video thing. I'm still using antiquated equipment. I still need to go buy a good computer or fix the one I've got. But the videos themselves, coming back to this topic, this is number 20. And I've enjoyed making them. I hope you've enjoyed watching them. Spread the word. They're not getting any, there's no money coming from this at all. And I don't want any money coming from this. Besides, I would have to enlist an army to start watching it on a regular basis to make any money. But what's cool is that the feedback I get, like the feedback that I got, for example, from Aaron or from Victor, that's not something you buy. That's something that comes from the heart, from them, and it's reciprocated. You know, everything I've done and everything I've said over the years, and even through this medium, comes from the heart. There's no script. I don't read a script. I should. Probably things would go a lot easier. I might stay on time. I'm up to 23 minutes. But it's just one of those things that I really enjoy doing. And I want other people to enjoy this as well. So I'm just asking for, refer the video channel to people if they haven't seen it, or if they might be interested. And we'll see how many we get. Anyway, that's it. Did I miss anything? No. So what did I talk about? Too much stuff. Politics, opening a school. Oh, if you have children, I keep forgetting that I keep visualizing all of you as 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. And so when I realized there's a whole class of you turning 50 next year, I spoke with Colton Billings, and he has not changed one iota. And he's going to be 50, which means that whole class is going to be 50, right? Because you all started in grade 9 and you all graduated in grade 12, and then some graduated in grade 13, 14, and 15, John. So you know that. But some of you have children going back to school tomorrow, and maybe even a couple of you have grandchildren going back to school tomorrow. Sadie Love you. Give them all hugs for me. And that's another thing I miss, is giving you guys hugs. But just assured that these metaphorical hugs are all coming through the camera, and close your eyes and you got a hug. Even the guys. Alright, enough for today. We'll see you next time.